Hey everyone, welcome back to the Guile Treatment. We're doing our post Rockford PTC episode. I think, we're all here. Slam was our champion. He took 1 year off between wins at Rockford. Had to let somebody else win, probably this.
Yeah, some scrub in the middle won between my 2 wins.
And I don't know. So I guess Chris, you were the host.
Yes.
And you finally got a chance to play in your own tournament this year, right?
I played last year too.
Whatever.
Yeah, but
this
year.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. It doesn't matter this year either, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm more of
integrity of results.
The integrity of the results, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, you know what? Before we talk about that, I just want to say, Slam, I hope you have some kind words for my good friend Scott, because he beat T-Gord in the last round and knew that he was getting diversified by Tim Keefe and said, "Fuck you, T-Gord, I'm taking the win." And if he had just said, "I don't care about 6 packs of diversity and I'll just give this dude a win," you would not have been in top 8.
I don't know how that all broke out, but I'm going to go ahead and break this down for you. Chris saw this. I was so sure I was not even making top 8 that because for those who don't know, I now live in Cincinnati, Ohio. I do not live in Michigan anymore. So when I need to play, I borrow all of my cards, whether it's from going to Phil and go, because when I left, I used to hold all the cards from Michigan. When I moved to Cincinnati, I gave them all to Phil Birch. So if I want to build a deck, I go to Phil Birch's house and build it. And I drive 4.5 hours to Michigan and hang out, stay the weekend with Phil Birch and build decks. So if I want to build a deck, I have to talk to Phil Birch. Phil Birch, and this is the kicker, their Punch and Judy's so goddamn good that we had in Michigan there are 12 copies of Punch and Judy going around. They were all in use, so I had to borrow 4 more of each to be able to build the Mad Perot deck that I played. So I borrowed from a really good player. I believe his name's Arthur, right? I got that right?
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
All right, so I borrowed Punch and Judy from Arthur. Mad love to Arthur because I'm absolutely not there without Arthur. I was just going to borrow Chris's Yamato Man or something if I couldn't get Punch and Judy's.
You would have definitely got the first one.
Probably, yeah. I've never played Yamato Man before. But then, okay, so I borrow all the cards. And, so I'm sure, okay, I'm not going to make it. I'm probably 10th, 11th place. I was 4-2. There's no damn way I'm getting into the top 8. So I'm starting to pull the cards out. I had a list on my phone of all the cards I borrowed from Chris. So I'm going down the list of the cards I borrowed from Chris to build the deck. And I'm pulling these cards out, and then they're announcing, and I heard Jeremy got 7th, and then I'm like, wait a minute, Jeremy didn't do that. Not to say he's bad, but he didn't do he was 4-2 as well, and I was like, oh damn, did I make it? And then when they announced 8 and I got 8th, I started going bananas because I was so sure I didn't make top 8 that I had started pulling cards out of the deck to give back to all the people I borrowed the cards from. And then, I get into top 8 and I play Danielle, and I was talking to Arthur, and I was like, well, I'll just, I'll give the cards to Chris, I guess, when I'm done, because I wasn't sure how far I was going to go. And then I ended up winning, and it was, I didn't even think I was going to make it. I pretty much was like, okay, in most tournaments about this size, generally 4-2 makes it. There's usually a person at 4-2 makes it as the 8 seed. I believe 3 made it. I think me, Phil, and Jeremy were all 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing is that there were 3 diversities. So that's sort of one of the things. I would say that, honestly, I would say the story of the tournament was Jet. And Jet, man, he was everywhere at top tables.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, this debate came up, and I'm just gonna pitch it to you guys. Because I'm starting to get on board with it. I kind of felt it when I built Jet myself. I didn't build Punch when I had a Jet deck personally. It wasn't Punch and Judy. It was just Fire Jet, Tech Spheres.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's an argument. I don't know if it's totally true, but I think you could at least make the argument that Jet is the strongest character in Cowboy Bebop. I think it's between Jet. Yeah. I think it's possible, at least. I think to me, I still lean Spike One. But I think I think the debate between Spike One and Jet is a real one now, Seeing like what Tim was doing and what Scott was doing and stuff was really impressive.
But what I think
this thing is like the guy who borrowed cards from Arthur. He was like, I think, 7th.
Yeah, he was 6th or 7th before diversity.
Yeah. So, and I gotta tell you, he gave me like the cleanest 2-0 of definitely of the weekend. I'm sure there was one, back in the day it was like, but like I had nothing.
Yeah, I think Jet is the best character because what Spike 1 does to the rest of the field, Jet does to everybody else. And Spike really struggles, I think, with that possible second turn missile launcher, and I think that's it.
Spike, not Spike, Jet with a missile, like Jet opening a missile launcher or closing with a missile launcher.
Yeah,
you just lose. If Jet has like 1 to 2 momentum, and you don't have a way to answer big stun, like you're dead.
Yeah,
and that's it. That's all you're still.
I think, and this is like we can talk about this, I guess, a little going forward. I don't know if we want to preview MK at all a little bit going into the pre-releases next weekend, but it's like I think Jet is one of those characters. Like I feel like he's almost done a disservice by playing a Punch and Judy Jet. Like I think he's better than Punch and Judy. I think he's better than a one trick gimmick. I think Jet can be like, I'll be honest, like, and Jeremy had kind of addressed this, and I sort of felt it too. If I didn't beat Tim Keefe, I don't know if Tim Keefe probably just wins the tournament. And it was because that it took like Mad Perot in this meta is just enough to just kind of go blam 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 and run over the field. And if it's the hard part for me. I ran hot as hell in top cuts. I was 4-2 in rounds because it's an up and down deck. If you're not running hot, you have 45-minute game ones with Trent. Yeah, man.
We did.
So to give you an idea, I think the match with Trent is a good idea of what Mad Pro's like. I checked, I believe, like 6 coffee sambas against Trent in game 1. We went for like 45 minutes and he milled me. I lost on a mill. But the other side of the coin on Mad Pro is that the next 2 games over that 15 minutes, I turned to games 2 and 3. And so you can go from like, man, I'm checking all the ones, I'm failing miserably, this game is going south, to, oh my God, I just did this and this, and we're done in 10 minutes. And Mad Pro, the hard part is the consistency. Anytime you're relying on like, I got to have this one check and stuff, you're playing with fire. So it's one of those, you got to see the right cards. You have to get the right draw. Like for me, the God draw really was like if I get Coffee Samba on 2, and after the Coffee Samba, I have Judy and I have Cats on 2. That's kind of the God draw for me. The hard part with facing someone like Tim Keefe knows he knows how many cards you're chewing through. He knows, okay, I just gotta, if I can get it to where we go to a cycle, if I can prevent the Punch and Judy, like game 1 with Tim in top cuts, I couldn't get anything rolling. Overly dramatic was really powerful. I didn't get the kind of draws I needed. But then games 2 and 3, I got some love from the UFS gods. I got the math I needed. And against Phil in the finals, it was 2 sides of a coin. I got every good draw I could possibly get. I think I had double Coffee Sambas both games. I had to check a 6 check not to die in game 2, and I checked a 6. I believe I had 2 left in deck. One of the saltiest Phil moments I've ever seen. But it's
I don't know.
Where sometimes
I've seen him.
Sometimes the game
salty.
just goes okay, and so the UFS guys just go okay. Odds, 2 out of, I believe, 20, 25 cards in deck, and there's 2 6 checks in there. I got to hit one of the 2, and I do. And that's where you go like, okay, this game is just, they're just, all right, Marc's got this. They were just like, okay. Yeah. I had some dumb luck to pull off some of the stuff they did. And that's just a reflection of modern UFS is very volatile, to say the least. You've got a very violent 1 check in Coffee Samba. That's one of the nastiest cards in the game. But if you check that nasty card, you're also going to lose. Yeah. So there's a lot of volatility in the way that the game is played right now. It's less of a chess match and a lot more checkers. And I felt that playing Mad Perot, which a little background. Like I initially had built a Dimitri list that I was going to play in Rockford. It was honestly very good, but it's very boring. And it was just purely, I didn't want to play 6 rounds of that stuff. I was like, if I have to play this garbage for 6 rounds, I'm going to jump off a bridge. Like, there's no way I could do it. It was just too lame. And then I tried to build a Hoitzel deck. And Hoitzel pre-Bebop was pretty cool and fun and effective. Just not that great post-Bebop. Pretty much any testing I had against the Bebop character, I got destroyed.
Sure.
So I was like, well, I don't know what I want to play. So I looked at my Rochester CCG fantasy roster and said, well, I got Mad Perot. I like Keenan as a human being. So I was like, I really like Keenan as a human being, and I kind of I played Punch and Judy Jet and had fun with it. So I was like, I'll just play Keenan's deck because I like Keenan. Yeah. And I have Mad Perot on my roster, and I like Keenan. So two good reasons to play Mad Perot. So I talked to Keenan, and Keenan gave me some great advice. Like, there's a lot of things. I think people get too caught up in the offensive side of Punch and Judy. One of the best things for me in that deck was that it's a +1 high and a +1 low that's a 6-check. So it's a very good block. I also used it defensively a lot. It was like a don't die button. Like, all right, -3 damage to get it under lethal. So now you got to, all right, where else you have damage from? Or like, all right, I need a low block right now. All right, -3, pick up the low block.
I got a question for you. Did you ever?
Yeah, please.
Did you ever give +3 speed to something to go -3 damage, then -2 damage?
No, I didn't do that.
Because technically you could if you wanted to.
I had done when I played Jet. I was giving damage pumps the thing to get it to double so that I could jealousy and fake it.
Oh, nice.
For 2-0, so I was doing that side of it. But in this particular instance, and I love jealousy and fake so much, I sided it here. I never once sided it in. With Jet, you do. Breaker 3 mid block's really good.
Oh, yeah.
But in this instance, not as good. But the card, like, there were times where I was going to 14 actions and I had 3 out of your leagues in the sideboard and I just bring them in. A big reason I beat Tim Keefe in game 3 was out of your league on the, he did Black Dog's Fangs into Hammerhead Assault, snapped the momentum and tried to pick up the Black Dog and play it again. And I just, out of your league, the picking up of the Black Dog's Fang again. So he's just stuffed. Like, it stuffed the pool, and it ended the turn. And I was able to start going, all right, boom, 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 cats and Punch and Judy and whatever those things are. And the one thing for me, and this is where my struggle was, this is the side effect of not being able to play as much as I used to, is I had to kind of learn stuff on the fly. I had to learn, I didn't realize that overly dramatic stops balance fighter. I found that out in round 1. I was playing Marcus, and I started.
Overly dramatic stops any card.
It kind of does.
It's any card.
Pretty much anything. Oh, by the way,
I draw a card. Overly dramatic cancels it.
This is only going to be audio when we're done, right?
Definitely.
Okay, so it doesn't help if I go, hey, Marcus, you left your camera that you bought at Walmart in my car. All right. So, as that's just sitting here. But no, Marcus beat me in round 1, and not to slight Marcus, because he's a fucking amazing. I'm sorry.
You can swear, dude. I don't care.
Okay, cool. All right. A freaking amazing player.
Oh, pizza.
But there was stuff like, I didn't realize that I've been playing with proxies of Coffee Samba for so long that I didn't know it was desperation. So I've been playing with literal pieces of paper that said Coffee Samba on them, and that was my proxy. So there were things that I had to literally learn as the tournament went on. And by the time I got to top cuts and the matches with Danielle and with Tim and Phil, I had kind of ironed out all the kinks. But it took me 2-3 rounds to kind of get to where I was comfortable with the deck. And I had played a handful of games before the tournament, but it wasn't enough to how I would normally play literally dozens and dozens and dozens of games. This was 5 games maybe before the tournament, and most of those were played with not the real cards because I didn't have them. Because I don't know if you guys seen Phil's crazy Satoshi deck. I want to branch off just off of my own stuff, but Phil's Satoshi deck was ridiculous.
That was the greediest deck I've ever seen.
Yes, it was obnoxious. It is a
Phil Birch deck for sure.
Let's party candidate. What? It is 7, I believe, just top of my head, I believe it was 7 1s and 3 2s.
That's awesome.
And also played Punch and Judy. It was, and this is the thing. all those killer cards are all weapons. So, and it's stuff like Overly Dramatic does cancel Satoshi, but if he just goes form Satoshi, and you have to decide right there before he plays anything. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those, like, Phil's move is like bait the Overly Dramatic on you by going form Satoshi. Even if he doesn't, you have to respond there because you don't want him to clear the pool and draw a card and all that. So you have to do it. Whether he could then just go, all right, build, pass. But if he just declares it, you have to respond to it. Mm-hmm. It's the same like when I played Tim Keith.
Yeah, you just block, man.
What's up?
So you just block.
I mean, you block, but the thing is that if you block, he still clears the pool and he still draws a card. So you want to keep him down a card and keep a card in the pool. And that's so you're kind of stuck. I don't know. But it was a really good tournament. It was a lot of fun. Watch it. I saw Miles' daughter go off on turn 1 with Ringman, which was incredible. The whole Tyler family. That's the meanest family in UFS, man, in a good way. I don't mean mean as in like person. I mean like they were beating people up and down. I had 2 losses, one to Marcus and one to Miles. Like Miles' vicious deck was really good. I kept getting that base somersault kick until I was just like, my soul was leaving my body. My spirit was broken. No, it was a really good deck, and if you don't see the draws as Mad Pro, there's not a lot of room for a chess match with that deck. Yeah. Like if you draw poorly or you don't see the heat, it's hard to go toe to toe with anything. Like the problem I had with Trent when I played Trent was like I didn't see the heat, so all I could do was kind of block, and my move to not die was use my punch and Judy's, which means that I also don't have a backswing the other way. So if I don't see a million coffee sambas, I can't backswing. One thing I can take away from this tournament, because I never played the card before, coffee samba is maybe the nastiest attack in Standard right now. That missile launcher can
it would be a disservice to not mention missile launcher.
Yeah,
it'd be a disservice not to mention missile launcher, but missile launcher doesn't have E stun 7 on it. I stun 7.
It has. Oh, you're playing Jet stun 4.
Sure. You go to Deadlock, stun 9 or whatever.
I'm not playing Jet. I just drew 2 cards and stun 7. And this is where we're arguing over semantics. These are 2 ridiculous cards. Mm-hmm. These are 2 ridiculous cards. Like it made me walk away from that tournament going, how do I put Coffee Samba into more stuff? How do I put Missile Launcher into more stuff?
When Mortal Kombat comes out, you played in Scorpion.
Yes. I was thinking everything. All right, so I'm just my Coffee Samba short list. I was like, okay, you could do it in Scorpion, you could do it in Shinnok, you could do it in. I could go old school and put it in Bishamon on order. Like you could. Because Mini Bird's playing Bishamon. I was trying to give him advice because I think
it has Fire, Earth, and Evil.
That doesn't have Earth on it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
All right, I'm pulling up Coffee Samba right now.
Okay, you're wrong. So while Marc is correcting himself, let's go ahead and talk to Trent.
Yes, please.
So
we got spoilers too.
So Trent, you played Plant Man this weekend, correct?
I did.
Yeah. How did you do? Give the good people a brief overview of your weekend before we go into Rob and his diversifying of all other viciouses. So
I built the deck Thursday night. Got a deck list from Big Johnson out in Omaha. Thank you, Big Johnson.
This is a pretty greedy deck too.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah.
He was running a bunch of 1-checks and he had 8 1-diffs and no 0-diffs. I was like, Trent, bro, you gotta get Fallen Angels in there. If nothing else, just get 3 or 4 Fallen Angels in.
It's got
no.
Marc's back and he knows that it has Earth.
Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, but go ahead, Trent.
My hand signals, and I'm throwing up with them. By hand signals, I mean middle fingers. But this is why we're friends. I don't know.
Go ahead, Trent. Finish up. Talk about your deck.
So, played Plant Man this weekend. Went 3-2-1. Yeah, 2 losses and a game that went to tie. I was like, man, maybe? No, didn't.
No.
And then, but then I played it again in the Robot Masters, and I only lost to Schneider. Jerk.
Iceman, baby.
Did you play the lots of checks Iceman?
Huh?
Did you play lots of checks Iceman?
Yeah, I played basically the deck that I gave
Oh
you
my
last game.
god, we're talking to
Yeah.
Trent. Don't talk to Rob. Rob will talk for like 6 hours. But go ahead.
Mad love though. That Plant Man deck was real. That deck is really like, and Plant Man is an underrated character. That's like, I could see that being a Garrett Brett character or like a Tim Keefe character too, where it's like real consistent. There's some math involved. There's some strategy, like some keeper strategy involved. It's not that's a chess deck. That's not a checkers deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Different than my normal playstyle. My normal playstyle is like turn 2 or 3. I need to know when if the game's over. Turn 2 or 3. So playing a deck that was like playing chess was a completely different experience for me, and kind of enjoyed it.
I'll tell you what, man, you did really. I had to sit across game 1 for 45 minutes with you. You did pretty damn well, so you milled me. So mad loves.
I mean, honestly, like one of the big things about Plant Man is I feel like there aren't really a lot of like good like anti-speed cards in the format outside of Balance Fighter and like Dust in the Wind.
And Fei.
Yeah, I mean Fei's good, but the thing is Fei's like a one-time use. You know, like those other cards like you can use like every turn, and so like if you're a Plant Man, like if they block one attack, you're just kind of like okay, like whatever. But I mean, you can throw out like I mean, if you throw out like 3 attacks in a turn, like they're probably not going to block them all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're probably going to they'll probably block 1, maybe they'll block 2, but like they're going to spend a ton of resources to do it, and that means that you're probably going to gain back like 4 to 6 life.
Yeah.
And get more momentum, which means that your stuff's going to be like faster next turn, and like it's sort of like a wild kind of matchup. Like I definitely was playing it and was just like, well, like I don't have a lot of speed 8, and it's gonna be tough. I have some really good blocks, and hopefully I don't check too.
What I like what he was doing is he was doing the Guardian Slasher play where he would just burn himself for 4 you can't, and then gain it all back on it.
Yeah, and then basically just be like, well, I'll gain it if you don't block this.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole idea. And then like Mark, I was playing Punch and Judy in the deck just for the good blocks. I think I only did the combo 1 game the entire weekend.
Oh.
To kill somebody.
And I blocked it.
and to be quite honestly, I don't think Keenan will care if I share like I asked Keenan like for advice on how to like stuff with the deck, anything I should be aware of, things I should be cautious of before I played the list. And Keenan's biggest advice to me was there's 2 things. And you can actually I went back and I rewatched it because I was curious, like, okay, did I mess anything up? Did I play stuff right? And the biggest thing I caught myself saying a couple times is like don't discount the ones. Like if you have you got to understand you got 1 checks in the deck. So like if you want to build like 1/1, 1/1 then whatever. You want to get at least that 2 build. So lead, and if you have explosive acrobatics, you lead with explosive acrobatics. So respect the ones, and like don't think of punch. Don't just be like, all right, punch Judy. Think of like, am I going to kill him? And if I'm not going to kill him, you're better off holding him and blocking, or
exactly
using him to not die.
Mm-hmm.
The misconception is that people go, oh, it's a punch and Judy deck. All right, punch Judy. Okay, because now and this is where it gets like punch and Judy are better defensively. Just block with the damn things. They end up in your discard anyway. Now you've got awesome blocks, and you can still fish for them with just if you have a punch or
as long as you have 1, you have all of them.
If you have 1 or the other, you got all of the ones in there. So just use them as blocks, and when you're ready to go, tee off.
Yep.
And if you happen to draw into a bunch of them because you're a 7-hander who then draws 2 cards with your damn coffee samba, then you do that too. But in most situations, you're just like, okay, worst case scenario, I block with them, I draw a punch or a Judy, and I've still got access to whatever ones I just blocked with.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I like them better off as blocks and just kind of get them when you're ready. It's just being patient and understanding tempo and when to move and when to go for the stuff. If you just start going, all right, copy some, but punch Judy, it's not as good.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking of them more defensively makes the cards a lot better than they currently like in the hands of just a moderate player or something might go, all right, punch shooty. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Tim's sort of assessment was, Judy has like the secret text, E, block this high attack.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really good assessment of it. And even if, now the thing that was helpful against, and I hate to hurt Tim here, but the thing that was helpful against Tim was that it's a +1 low block for his 4X missile launchers, which the other kind of tricky thing was with that Mad Perot is kind of overlooked on is just that his built-in DR.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
-2 damage if the attack is at 6 feet or greater. And there were a lot of times that weekend where it was like, okay, like even from like the matchup with Marcus in round 1, he's playing Lilith. Like Lilith's whole gimmick is here's 2-3 speed. And I'm like, cool, here's 2-3 more speed. All right, -2. Like let's speed up. And
now your attack's doing 1.
Right, exactly. And the also sneaky tech that I'm going to mess with more when I start building more decks. I've got I joked about this creative block until Mortal Kombat comes out. Really, I've got Mortal Kombat lists floating around and nothing pre Mortal Kombat currently. I don't know, but having the revokes off symbol was ridiculously helpful. It was the stuff that gets through things like what's the Guile card, refusing to let go.
Yeah.
3/5 reset -2 damage thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so like refusing to let go was out there quite a bit in some of the Earth Jet lists and things like that. It was in Miles' Vicious deck. Having Out of Your League was really helpful in the side. I wasn't afraid to go to like 14 actions, and it makes me want to experiment with bigger action decks, like more action packed, just Steven Seagal decks of just like lots of action.
I was playing 13 in Plant Man.
Right, and that's the thing is like I had 14 when I'd signed in all the Out of Your Leagues, and it didn't feel horrible. Which if you guys don't mind, I want to pivot into MK just for a bit.
Well, one second. But you you can actually you can leverage that in a 7-hander easier than you can in a 6-hander though. So.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, but it kind of depends on,
I've been talking to Chris a bunch because me and Chris are going to be teaming at work or at Nets. So I've been talking some tech with Chris. I got a chub for Ermac, man. Ermac is big. And now the thing that's tricky there, Ermac and Quan Chi are the two big characters that are going to be using characters from Mortal Kombat. And I played in an era with like Heihachi and Kazuya and Jin and stuff like that, like the Mishimas, where they were like character based. I think both of these characters are fair comparisons to Heihachi if anyone played in the Tekken era, where like Heihachi's ability was discard a character for 6 damage on your attacks. It had other kickers. I believe it was the difficulty of the card you discarded. But the idea was that it promoted playing characters in Heihachi. Kazuya was a stacker who could do self-destruct if you discarded one of his characters. And Jin got +2 to his checks and extra damage based on the number of stack characters. So they were all character stackers. The tricky part in building is Heihachi was the one that was like, there was a 20-20-20 Heihachi that had some success in Canadian Nationals about whenever Phil won his first card, I think about 4 years ago or so. And by 20-20-20, I mean that it was 20 attacks, 20 foundations, 20 characters. So
it's kind of like the CA deck from the UK, like
kind of
4 years back.
It was a 20-20-20 Heihachi. I think what I like though, and this is where because I'm a big Ermac fan, and looking at what's been coming out and looking at what exists, I don't think you'll need to run 20 to be successful. I think you'll be able to get away with like 10, stuff like that, 8, 10, because there's so many cards, and I'll just use all as a symbol for this example, but like they just unveiled in the spoilers this week that we were going to spoil on the show. That he's got a choke that picks up a 6 check.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, pitch my character for anywhere between 2. Pitch a character from my hand for anywhere from 2 to 6 damage and draw a card.
Or anywhere from 0
the card,
to 6.
pick the character back up that I just discarded, and then check a 6 for 6 damage. 6 damage. That thing's going to be somewhere between 12 and 16 damage.
It's high.
Now, I understand that it's high. It's high as Stephen Jones. But I love Stephen.
That's just shots fired.
That's not shots fired. The whole running joke was that he stopped smoking and he lost in the finals to Brandon in St. Louis.
It is true. It is true.
That is very true. 100% true.
Was that the one where Brandon just lost game 2 because he drew 8 cards in his opening hand?
No, it was Stefan who lost game 1 because he drew too many cards.
Yeah.
He smoked weed and he stopped smoking weed and then did the wrong things. No, I can say this because I love Stefan, so that's fine. But I do think that the character stuff is very interesting. I think it's going to lead to creative deck building. I think Quan Chi's broken. I think he's actually broken. Is probably going to get banned like fairly quickly.
Yeah, I see that. Before we go into
the same thing about Spike.
Yeah, but Spike's a starter kicker. Doesn't matter.
The starter thing really is a thing.
It is a thing.
I mean, like Vespera stuff went for. Like, if anyone played back in, I know there's a lot of newer players now, but if anyone played back in the day with the first run of Red Horizon when Vespera was around, it took a long time for Vespera stuff to be banned.
It was the same thing as, like, Ever Hopeful. Like,
yeah.
You know, they finally errated that after it was basically, like, barely relevant anymore.
You know, a big part of that was that it was a starter card. I don't know for sure 100%, but I'm just speculating because it all kind of ties together. Vespera stuff took a while to get banned because Vespera was a starter. Well, I'm going to assume that it's because Vespera was a starter. Now I'm getting all journalistic, like, oh, do I have the text? Okay, I don't. But I'm going to speculate that because Ever Hopeful was a starter card, all the really crazy cards like Paralyzing Touch and stuff around Vespera were all because she was a starter card. So it took forever to decide to ban or errata some of that stuff. I think
if anything, Vengeance of the Fallen Angel will go before Spike. And as far as I've heard, that will or could possibly happen if
they said it could.
Like the stuff that's in MK doesn't really like suppress him.
Yeah.
What I do think, and I'll just float this concept right now, because it may or may not have already been tested a little bit. Quan Chi, without his support, is annihilating Spike locally. I'm just going to float that out here right now. Without his support, is annihilating Spike. Like, not close. Spike isn't winning any games against Quan Chi. To give you an idea, Quan Chi is he's either A, going to get banned, or B, he's going to have an errata or something. Because this is the thing. We're doing this without his support. And the real kicker to Quan Chi is not the enhance. It's the R.
Yep.
Every time an enhance is played, this attack gets either -1 or +1 damage. Every time an enhance is played.
Well, your opponent, right? Not you. It's only your opponent's.
Your opponent. But here's the thing, though, is that your Spike, all right, -2 to all your attacks, because if you do any of that, or you just don't use your ability, because it's going to be like you cancel Spike's ability, and anytime he gives a speed, you give it -1 damage. And he Vengeance of the Fallen Angel. All right, it's unblockable. All right, respond -1 damage. He wanted to do any Spike abilities. It's. I think this is without even the dumbness of like the dumbassosity. I just want to make up a word of like 4x Napalm Man in your discard, or 4 Dimitri's, or I was floating around with a couple of people like maybe I don't know what his attack lineup will look like, so maybe you play some lows and put Aaron Black in there, just snap a couple momentum, and now you're just clearing your card.
His one ultra rare attack's a low for sure.
Yeah, hey, I'm Spike. I'm going to put Spike 2 in there, clear my card pool, get a multiple, snap a multiple. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of really dumb stuff out there. And you can do it on your 720 that does +1 and -1 to a bunch of attacks every time your opponent plays an enhance.
Yep.
Quan Chi is probably the strongest character in a while. And we'll see it in full effect as people get more time. This is just me spitballing. This is us playing around with no support. We just saw his first bit of support. We've seen 1 attack, 1 foundation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I guess he did just get the one. Well, is that
it's like a Katana Foundation?
Yeah, I think I was going to say.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's like good, evil,
and even worse, we've seen 1 card of Quan Chi's, and it's also a ridiculously good attack. But the thing with Quan Chi,
I don't think he'll run it.
I don't even think I think it's an Ermac card, by the way.
It's an Ermac card.
Freaking Ermac card, yeah. That because my death concepts or Ermac have that card in it. But I think in general, without any support, if you just in a vacuum put Quan Chi in his meta right now, I think he's the best character in the game. I think he's that good, and I think we'll see more of it. I do think he's going to either get banned or errataed or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be to this set what Twinkle Murdoch was to Bebop, where it's going to be like 2 tournaments. People are going to be like, nope. They're going to have to be all frozen on it and let it go. Just cut our losses. I referenced Frozen on the Guile Treatment boys.
It's okay. It's all right.
Let's see. Do you want so before MD comes out, and there's a PTC in Virginia, and then the next tournament is UK Nats.
There's Virginia. There's Virginia. UK. I got 2. There's 2. There's Virginia, UK Nats, and Tampa. Tampa.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yep.
Do you think that Quan Chi wins UK Nats?
Yes.
If he doesn't win UK, it's going to be either Quan Chi or the hard Quan Chi counter that we aren't aware of yet. Now, this is the
It's
only
Goro with Fatality.
What?
It's Goro playing Fatality every turn.
The
all the character cards.
The Goro Fatality nil concept's been thrown around a lot. I thought it was this secret tech.
No.
And I've had 5 people talk to me about it after I was like, hey, this seems like a good idea. And then a bunch of people have been like, no, we're all talking about this. I'm very sporadically on the Discord. I check out the Discord once in a great while.
Yeah.
And apparently this has been floating around the Discord. People are like, yeah, Fatality Goro build. Yeah, okay. Where you just hold Fatalities, block with them, and mill all their attacks. And then they can't win.
I don't know. I don't think Goro wins. I don't just 40 health is cool, but he's going to die.
And I'm totally with Rob, and this is my theory, is that if his ability was +4 or -4, now we're talking a 4-hander that I can get behind. I think a couple things. I think he's too slow. I know what I was able to do to 29 health with Jet, who is building faster and has better abilities. I think 4 hand size that isn't blocking any of the garbage I'm throwing at them is going to be they're in for a bad time. Tonight, I got to promote one more card while I'm on the Guile treatment because I think it's very relevant.
Before you go, before you go ahead. Rob, do you want to talk anything about Rockford PTC before we go down the rabbit?
Let's get back on track.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm just asking because before we go down the rabbit hole, we don't want to go down the rabbit hole of MK too much before we can't climb out. So,
sure.
Sorry to cut you off.
So I guess for this, I sort of joked. I was like,
"Okay, good, thanks, Rob."
I was looking at. I was gonna just play a Bebop character for this because I didn't play one for indie, and it was a lot of work, and I didn't feel like doing that again. So I was looking at the Bebop characters, and I didn't really feel like playing the spikes. I feel like they've been done to death. And I expected there to be a bit more diverse. I don't think there was any Spike 2s. Maybe there was one. I don't know.
There were 2 Spike 2s.
Oh, okay. I should have seen them. And I think there were 2 Spike 1s. Mm-hmm. And they were okay.
We finished
I probably
the
could have
same
played
record.
a Spike 1 and done pretty good.
Yeah. We finished the same record.
But
3-2-1.
I ended up so I was really looking at basically Vicious and Jet. And the thing about Jet is I didn't want to play Punch and Judy. I was looking at Earth, and I was talking to Tim Keefe, and I heard he was like, "Oh yeah, I had one that I played for teams, and it was pretty good, and I'm gonna tinker with it." And I was like, "I don't want any part of that." I was like, Tim Keefe is just on a roll this year, and he's already put more thought into this deck than I probably will ever. So he can have it. And that's the thing is I think Jet. I guess I'm not surprised that this was sort of the first tournament where we really saw a lot of him, because I think he was probably the character out of the set. Maybe not I think James put in a lot of work to Asimov and Katarina, which kind of resulted in that deck. That was definitely a deck that had development behind it. But Jet seems like somebody, if you're not doing the fire build, there's a lot of choice. There's so many good cards for Earth. There's so many good cards for, good. I mean, part of it is because Jet has a lot of cards. But, there's options as well. And it seems like the kind of deck that, you really want to pour over and try to be which ones do I want? What's important, what's not? I mean, when I was building my Earth Vicious deck, I got it to about 80, 85 cards, and was just like, well, now what? All these cards are good, but I'm not going to show up with like an 80 card vicious deck. Like, I got to trim this down, figure out like what's really important and what's not. So basically, like, I kind of defaulted to vicious. And like, I was sort of joking about it earlier. I was like, well, if Miles is coming, he's still playing that vicious deck, I'm going to diversify him. And then he did so bad in Omaha, and I was like, well, maybe he'll switch it up and play something else. And then I heard like a bunch of Omaha people weren't even coming, so I was like, well, he might not even show up. So yeah, I'll do this. And I built the most basic week 1 vicious deck like I could come up with. It was just almost entirely throws, a bunch of mids, and I had some stuff in there that was like sort of encouraging flips, and I just cut it all. I was like, I'm gonna play, vicious. Like, I'll acknowledge that he has like a flip ability that maybe I'll use a little bit here and there, but I basically was just like, I'm gonna run eliminating the van. I'm gonna run spider suplex 4x. I'm gonna run whatever it's Death Valley faceplant 4x. So I'm just gonna run a bunch of mid throws and life gain, and I'm gonna pretend I'm Dimitri. And because the thing is like, people, like, I don't know, my sort of opinion is like people aren't really running like a ton of like throw hate anymore. Especially since Dimitri left. I mean, I saw a couple of fids, and against Arthur, I mean, he breaker 3 leaf shielded me 3 turns in a row, which was just awful. I mean, like, the first one I was like, interesting. The second one I was like, all right, like, that's pretty obnoxious. Now I got to play this 2-diff foundation on a 6. Oh, look, I checked a 3. This is great. I get to commit my entire staging area to not end my turn. And then the third time, like, Nick Birch was there, and he can tell you, like, when that third one hit, I just looked at him and I was like, I hate my life.
Welcome to my locals, man. Every week.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess, like, Leaf Shield, sure. But the biggest thing is I feel like people kind of rely on, like, Prepare to Fight for a lot of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that works on, like, the high throw, like, the stunners. If you're playing, like, the low one, whatever it is, ankle breaker or something like that. Yeah. But, like, so you just go mid. That's the thing is, like, the mid throws, like, Prepare to Fight doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess you could breaker 1, but it just doesn't matter.
If you don't mind me tagging in too on this one here, Rob, like, I think other than just the flip ability, we talked about this because I got a chub for Ermac. Ermac is bang, and he's got the choke. And we talked about this, the high throw. If that card was in mid, it's infinitely better, and it's because the decks that can run prepared to fight generally, even if it's not 4x, they run at least a couple of them. And having the ability, and the hard part too, it's not like on Earth, at least you have short fuse, you can seal it. You can't seal this on any of the Ermac symbols. So, like, for me, if Ermac's going to be Bay with that card, I need to at least be conscious of, well, I got no answer for Prepare to Fight unless and that's not to say they won't print answers, because there are weird answers to things that I've already seen in the limited amount of Mortal Kombat. They clearly had an idea of, like, let's target some Punch and Judy hate, let's target some action hate, things like that, to where maybe Prepare to Fight has answers that aren't short fuse. But in the limited amount I've seen, I don't see anything. So you're kind of stuck. But, it's like stuff like Spinning Pile Driver just gets better because it's mid.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not related to anything else other than being mid.
Yeah. I mean, so that was the thing, is, like, I just ran that. I mean, it was basically just life gain and throws. There were honestly, like, there were a couple cards that I think I really missed on. Stuff that I considered and I just didn't run. Actually, one of which was short fuse. And in part, I was just like, I'm running so many mid attacks. Like, Prepare to Fight kind of doesn't matter. Like, the thing is like, if someone Templars me, someone, like, any of these sort of blocks, like, they're all mid. Like, I can't do anything. And I definitely, like, undersold Black Dog's Fangs because, good God, did I wish I could fucking seal that block.
Can I float something real quick, guys? Because it's something I just kind of noticed now that you brought it up, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Is Templar dead?
I mean, Templar's pretty dead. Like,
it's weird because I still think it's good, but I think it's, like, people just ain't playing it. Like,
the thing is people aren't, I mean, Templar is, like, I feel like Templar encourages a playstyle that isn't getting played a lot, which is I'm gonna just sit here. You know, I'm gonna stay alive. I'm gonna play a lot of defense. And I mean, like Tim Keefe said it after like when we were going to dinner. I don't know if it was like after top 8 or if it was like day 2 or what. But he basically just said he's like, you know, you got to just come to terms that like you can't live forever.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I mean, that's advice to live by.
I mean, you know, maybe if you're Garrett Brett, you know, you can sit around and try to like mill people out with Sakura or something. But like at the end of the day, eventually, like you're just gonna get tagged. Like the attacks are just too good. I mean, it's not a bad card. It's just like, you know, devoting slots to something that is purely defensive is pretty tough right now.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a foundation because you know, like it always passes checks. But it's just something like an action card that's just taking up a slot in your hand. I mean, it's like you draw that and you're like, kind of wish this was an attack. You know, like I mean, part of it too. What was it? Air all life. I mean, life. You just run revoke now. And
like to give you an idea how the world's changed in the last. I don't know, since the breaker got taken off of Templar.
I mean, that's part of it too. You know, like I think if it still has a breaker 1, like you would see more play.
It get more play. When I played Dimitri, like my best friends with Dimitri, I was 4 revokes, 4 Templars in a 627. Like it didn't. I was like, oh sweet, this is that much more life and that many more cards. And the advice Phil gave me at the time, and we would totally not do this advice now. Was if you draw like 2 of them, just review them, or I'm sorry, just mulligan, and you still got 2 left in deck. And that was the view. Was like, okay, you can never have enough Templars. I lost to Templar blockchains in big tournaments and stuff, and now it's kind of like it's just dead.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too: is like, do you really want to like block with a Templar against a coffee samba deck?
No.
I'll draw 2. Sick. Thanks. Here's my other coffee samba.
Right. Let me get 2 more cards in my hand that you can then. Yeah. Oh yeah. Rockford.
Yeah. Yeah. It also.
Short fusion's 1.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like that was a card that I think even as a 2 of I should have just been running like literally for Black Dog's Fangs.
Mm-hmm.
And because I considered it and it just didn't make it. And the other one was probably like the Wily card that stops breaker, because man, there was some big breaker going around. I mean, courtesy of Jet. And like that was another. I mean, that was the thing is I think it was round 5, and I was at table 3 playing Arthur, who was playing like good Jet, and table 2 was Tim Keefe versus Scott, both playing Jet. So I'm just sitting there in the corner with like all these Jets around me, and I was like, "Ooh, this is rough times up here." So that's the thing is, I played Vicious. I guess 6 rounds and top 8, and I went 4-1-1, and then lost in top 8. I lost to Arthur playing Jet. I drew with Scott playing Jet, and then I lost in top 8 to Tim Keefe playing Jet. But I won my other game.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
Oh my god.
It's not
so
bad.
I had my fill of Jet for the weekend for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that was the thing too, is like after I lost, because I had like an early draw when Miles had like a loss, and so then like he was up at like, you know, I guess like he ended up above me for the last round playing against Marcus, and I pretty much assumed that like, you know, I mean obviously if he won he was in. But I thought he probably would have the breakers over me. But I think I just edged him. I ended up in 6th, and I think he was like 7th. I think he was like 8th, maybe. No, I don't remember. Because like I just don't remember what all the diversities were. He must have been in there somewhere. So I guess 6th must have been like Arthur, or no, 6th was Scott. 7th was Miles,
and then 8th was Arthur. Yeah.
And those were the 3 guys that all got diversified. Yep. So kiddos, it was not like, you know, it was 3 Bebop characters in top 8, you know, because it was I guess Vicious, Jet, and Perot.
Yeah.
But really, it was 5 Bebop characters in top 8. It was just that 3 of them were Jet and 2 of them were Vicious.
Okay, so we're about a little close to an hour, but I kind of want to wrap up the Rockford PTC thing. So, I
played talk about like what you played, or just sort of impressions, or what?
Oh no, I played Spike 1 and didn't do well. I ended up in 13th. Whatever, I don't care.
Hey, that's still straight. That's good.
It's winning more than losing. That's all. But it doesn't top, so it doesn't matter. Couple takeaways. There was no Faye, which was kind of surprising because she had seen an uptick the past couple tournaments. Yeah. We had 40 people, so that was down from last year, which is sad, but we missed most of Omaha to hit that magic 50 number, so maybe next year, kids. Also, get your pictures to me if you want to be on next year's mat. I am not hunting down people. You send your pictures to me, and then I'll send them to my guy, and my guy will do the mat. So, yeah.
I was thinking about it. I think everybody from the PTC came over to my place afterwards, except for Marc and the group that you were with. Everybody else was here the night before.
I think Miles did make it, but Omaha hadn't slept in like
24 hours.
Like forever?
Yeah, forever. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And my neighbors did say, "So you only lit one firework, right? Because it lit for a little while."
That firework said 95 count on it. So whatever that means.
Yeah.
That's what it meant. Poor neighbors.
So after the tournament, we went to Trent's house for a cookout.
Well, actually, I wanted to say one thing about like the tournament.
Yeah.
So like that thing is, I guess this is like the second PTC I've made it to this year, and I have a little bit of a, I guess like PTC. What do we call it? Not a habit, a ritual. There we go.
Yeah.
Of PTC's going on. I'll be on like Facebook, just being like, "Where are the updates, guys? Where are the updates? What are the decks? Who's doing what? What's going on?" And just being like, "Man, this coverage sucks." This coverage was awesome, and I mean, obviously like Chris, had a lot to do with like having the stream, but I really thought like Shane was on point.
Yep.
I played a lot of long rounds, so I really didn't get to like see the stuff on Facebook or like on the Discord or stuff. So like, oftentimes like when I'm playing, I'll sort of be in there like just talking to people, letting them know what's up, because I like it when they do that for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it seemed like we had a lot of like post-round sort of updates, like who's doing what. We had like a character count really early, and I thought like sort of some of the pictures were like a really nice touch.
Yeah.
Just seeing some people, seeing some like, what people were playing, like I'm gonna mess up her name. Was it Kyrie?
Kyrie.
There we go. Like that, like turn one, like ringman hand, and she's just cheesing it up. Like that was cool. That's like kind of stuff I'd definitely like to see more of.
Yeah.
Like that, I would say that for me, like the coverage of this sort of, for doing grades, I give it an A+.
Yes. Yes.
Solid.
Yep. Yeah, we try to put on a good show in Rockford. We may not be the best players, but we do put on the best PTC in all the land. I think we're almost to Atlanta status. I
really do think it, because I've been to 2 PTCs this year, and I was in Indy and Rockford, and I think the thing that's really in my last like 2 years or so, year and a half, 2 years of UFS, out of like the 7 I've been playing, is the movement towards streaming and the embracing of streaming and being able to share the content, share the games. The move away from like a JASCO forum to Facebook has been really helpful. Just seeing how the game has kind of evolved and how the coverage of the game has evolved. But if we keep this pace up, at like 10 years, we'll be on the esports channel and ESPN and stuff. Like,
hey man, sky's the limit.
No, sky's the limit, man. But like the real growth though in the way that the game is distributed, the way that the game is shared. Rockford had constant streaming, constant updates all day long. It was really good coverage. Indy has a straight up streaming room.
Yeah, I am jealous of that room. That room is fantastic.
Just a room that they seal off and go, okay, we're going to play some UFS in here, which is great.
I told JD that puts my streaming
more, cooler ways of just distributing the content has been really good for the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I asked JD, I was like, I need to know your man, because I need to have a room like that for our tournaments. Because that room is fantastic. I am super jealous of that room. So, Just to finish up.
You know what, too? What? Big shout-outs to Indy for, man, they trooped up.
Yes, they did.
I think we gave them, like, a little bit of a hard time when we were down there. We were like, guys, we better see you in Rockford, man. Like, you guys talked to some big game. Like, you better get on that road.
That's my new play group. I shout out to the people at Saltier.
Oh yeah, you're what? You're like an hour and a half.
I'm like an hour. I'm an hour and some change. So they are now my new local, which is great, and it's a pleasure to be a part of the group over at Saltier Games. They're really good.
Nice.
They've been very welcome to like, hey Slam, come play, and I'm honored. I think it's great, and I'm looking forward to helping these guys get better. And we're like, I'm saying I want Indy to be a really nasty play group to be reckoned with in the next, the coming months. And it's just going to take some time and work. And this is a great time for, this group's really booming with Cowboy Bebop, and they're getting even bigger with Mortal Kombat. And the way the game's shifting, this is a great time for a brand new play group to really take off, because the game is just this is like a turning point for the game. I'm super happy to be a part of that group. I'm going in for the pre-release and visiting there. But there's some good guys, good players. I believe they rolled like 12 deep to the Rockford tournament in matching Saltier shirts that made them all official throwers of hands.
Yes,
and I was super. It was super great to just see like those guys all show up that just rolling like super deep, like they were the Golden State Warriors or something. I was really. It was awesome to see, and I am officially going to have my official Thrower of Hands T-shirt at the pre-release when I show up there next week.
Nice.
So I'm excited.
Dude, this guy changes teams more than LeBron James.
Oh, snap.
I expressed my goal was to have a jumpsuit with a bunch of patches from UFS stores on it so that I'd look like a NASCAR driver. So Miles, get at me, man. I need some Legendary Wolf stuff so I can put it on the jumpsuit. No, but and for real, and Sean O'Brien and the guys at Rochester CCG have been great for years and years. I'm not like abandoning them, but I do have a new local, so it's great that I can and I consider it local. An hour and change is a local for me.
Yeah.
I'll drive in 90 minutes or whatever. But it's great, and it gives me a place to still play UFS even with my relocation and things like that too. So it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
I would say one of the funniest things for me this PTC weekend was watching those kids trash talk Thomas Gordon.
Oh,
that's the best. That's the best. Oh yeah. When
it's over for him, man.
Oh yeah, when JD
they're
said
always just find him.
When JD said,
I will say, Thomas Gordon, if you watch this, those vegetables you made Saturday night were fantastic. They were really good.
Oh yeah, hats off to the chefs, except for the uncooked hamburgers. The few uncooked hamburgers. That was Justin Pardo's fault because it was dark outside. It's okay, we get it. But everything else was delicious.
Son, Justin Pardo.
Everything. Justin Pesos. He was ready. He registered as Justin Pesos, by the way. For those people who did not know. So. But no, the after party was great. I want to thank Trent again for the second year in a row for having the after party there. So fantastic. It's like it's always going to be there now because maybe just don't bring 30 cases of like PBR that are left over because I think he has like 90 something beers left or something like that. So
I'm going to a music festival in like a month with all my hippie friends. It'll get taken care of, all right?
All right, good. But funny story, though. I was going through my freezer. I found 2 more bags of meat I didn't bring over. Yeah. There was chicken drums and pork steaks. I just forgot. So I guess what I'm eating tomorrow. Yeah. There you go. All right, so transitioning out, Marc was going super chub for Air Max.
Well, see, that's the thing, is Marc failed in the boss battle.
Ooh, that is correct. You have...
was awarded, I believe, a signed fatality. Do you have that?
I think I won the boss battle by losing.
Okay.
When Shane beat me and then gave me a copy of the awesome new ultra rare card Fatality signed by Shane Duckworth as a reward for Shane killing me, which was pretty good. That's a good touch. That's an ultra rare signed, very good touch on beating me. It was. I got to see quite a bit of what Sub-Zero does, and he's really disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good. In honor of the Guile treatment, I wanted to shout out one card that was just spoiled. That is an incredible Guile card.
Don't you dare talk about that because that's my card. Fuck you.
I'm not playing it. Shadow Kick, dude.
Do you see this guy?
He's stealing your stuff, man.
Sorry.
Wins one.
In America, I can tell you that Shadow Kick's an amazing Guile charge card. Swipe that charge card. It's good. So, the card, the top card of your discard's a foundation.
Are we going into these? Are we going into these cards right now without like a proper intro? Oh my gosh!
We're audio.
It's Slam Show, man.
It's Slam Show now. What is it? I do want to say that I didn't get to. I saw the Sub-Zero deck a few times. I didn't get to really go against it at all, but it looked like it had some pretty powerful cards in it. I know that the deck's been uploaded. I guess he made a video for it. It's up on YouTube or whatever, but yeah. So we had some MK stuff drop. Well, Trent was awarded a awesome MK.
Well, because that's the thing is, they didn't talk about those. Like they talked about the 9 cards.
Yep.
So those 9 cards were basically the boss battle was if you won, you got the like an unopened pack of MK, and Slam failed in his mission to spoil it for the people. But fortunately, Trent was such a gracious host that Shane gave him the pack when he left. And we circulated that around, and, we're sort of dragging our feet on releasing it to the people. So Jasco dropped it down, and I guess what was the 10th card? Like this was like a Raiden Foundation or something, right? It was like the one that was.
It was a Liu Kang Foundation, Champion of Mortal Kombat.
No, the one card that wasn't shown was the Raiden Foundation, the God of Thunder,
the big card.
Yeah, the big card. Yeah, that one.
So it was it had already been out.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I guess Marc has extolled us on the virtues of Telechoke, and stealing all my thunder with the. Flashy Shadow Kick.
I figured it was perfect for the show.
I'll give you the free Nutso combo with Flashy Shadow Kick, which is you play Flashy Shadow Kick. You get some foundation or whatever. You play, or is this right? I don't know. Play something.
Yeah.
Flashy Shadow Kick. Blow up Breaking Bread. Get Breaking Bread back. Get your first attack as momentum. Then you play Vicinity Blast. You have the momentum. You pick up Flashy Shadow Kick. It's the Raiden one that picks up charges to slam for a momentum.
Yeah.
You pick that up, and then you play Flashy Shadow Kick again. It's awesome.
I actually have it. I have Flashy Shadow Kick up on the screen right now. So
Did you play it? It's awesome. I was more basic about it. I was more, I was a basic bitch with my selections. I was more about like, all right, Glacial Assault, blow that up, get your face down, replace the Glacial Assault. I was more
this
basic.
guy was the most boring Guile deck you've ever seen in your life.
Well, boredom's consistent and solid, so it's all right.
I'm just hoping Cassie has some good stuff for Guile.
I'm a very solid 6.5. I'm a very.
The one card we've seen of Cassie is terrible. So
yeah.
What's the one card we've seen for Cassie?
It's like the one that's like Desperation or Destroy, like seal something
at the beginning of your opponent's combat phase.
Their block ones get +1, so it's pretty much just like a worse copy of Clear Cutter.
Yeah. Just reprint Champion of Southtown and call it like Cassie of Southtown.
Dude, that'd be awesome. Yeah,
I would be totally happy with that.
Cage Family Legacy or something, right? Like,
yeah.
Come
on. So
we did it.
Was that your card then, Flashy Shadow Kick? Because he stole it from
you. I'm cool with Flashy Shadow Kick being my card.
Oh my gosh!
After I spewed all over Telechoke too, so.
Let me get to Telechoke and then we can. Oh man! Oops! There we go. I'm going the wrong way here. Because I have the pictures up on overlay.
So. Forget Chris.
Yeah.
Whatever. My card?
Go ahead.
Based on artwork alone, I really liked Champion of Combat.
That card is insane.
Yeah.
Because I opened the pack and that was the first card that I saw was Champion of Combat, and I went, "Oh my god!"
I can't believe it wasn't the last card you saw when you just saw it had a seizure and fell over.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. Well, that's the first thing that catches your eye, though, when you see the card, is the artwork. You know, I was talking to Shane a little bit about the artwork of the set. And something I didn't realize is, okay, there's, 189 cards in this set. And each card is an original piece of artwork. Nothing was provided by Warner Brothers, NetherRealm Studios.
That's surprising, actually.
Everything is original artwork.
I want to talk about the deadlock on that, and just kind
of gotta tell people what it does. You can't just be like, oh, that card was pretty good. I mean,
it's pretty good.
I have it pulled up on the screen.
The top enhance is E on your turn. You commit. Your attack is +X. X equals the number of cards in your opponent's card pool. Which, pretty good with Liu Kang. Also good with Lily.
Yep. And Jeddah.
Yep. And then the deadlock. Add the top card of your opponent's deck to their card pool face down. And that's just a deadlock enhance your attack. So you can do it off reversal.
I like copyright Dr. Light 2000 X or XX or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that card's just that great.
Hold on a second.
No keywords, no momentum cost, just straight up oh, you went to 11 foundations?
Get wrecked.
Just boop, top card, top card. And you got Liu Kang, you're playing combos, so it's just another card. I mean, I'm honestly, Pool Clog is a mechanic that I really like, and I just feel like it's not super prevalent for pretty obvious reasons. I think it's pretty broken.
Mm-hmm.
And man, not a real big Liu Kang fan. Really don't care about him at all. I might have to play him just for that. The thing is too is stealthily, his E is stupid because you can do it on all your attacks, you can do it on all their attacks. So as they attack you, you just start milling your own cards to try to pick up blocks or reversals. I mean, Takeda, was that in the cards too?
Yeah.
Takeda attack.
Yeah. I'm changing mine. That card is also stupid.
It's a Joey. You want to tell people what it does, or you want me to tell people what it does? Because I have it pulled up on the screen.
Is that your card?
No, I have it pulled up on the screen. So for the people who only listen to this on the podcast, we could tell them what it does. But
all right, let me take a shot in the dark on this one.
Yeah.
I know it's a 4 diff, 3 check.
Correct.
I don't remember the block. +1 high.
Correct.
Yes.
Why not? So it's I think weapon combo attack. It's a reversal.
Yes.
Right. Still good. Okay.
Yeah, still good.
Cool. Now it has a combo E. It gets +3 damage or +3 speed, and you can take a card from your discard pile and stack it on the top of your deck.
Correct.
And a deadlock combo, it gets stunned too.
Correct.
Got it.
What's speed and damage?
Speed and damage. Ooh. I'm going to go... Hold on. I think it's 3 damage, right?
Correct.
3 damage.
I'm going to go 4 speed high.
Ooh, nice. You got it. Now, can you name the card?
It's something with an S. Shirai something. I don't know.
You're so close. It's Shirai You Can.
A little bit of Shirai no Mai, but it's not.
It's just Sure You Can.
Too, so.
That's all. It's just Sure You Can.
Isn't it Shirai Ryu something?
It's Shirai Ken. Shirai You Can.
All right. Whatever.
Sure You Can.
But the thing about that is it totally gets around Takeda's once per turn thing.
Mm-hmm.
So effectively that combo E either says stack a really good check, or it says set up Takeda's mill.
Yeah.
And you literally just go, okay, well my combo E was +3 speed or +3 damage, and also whatever combo E I just stacked.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that attack with Liu Kang because I just stack an attack, mill it, drop my hand.
That's totally valid too, man.
Yeah.
That's good. That's the thing too, is I've talked a lot about actually both, Liu Kang and Takeda with Nero Fatica, which is a card that is not played. And apparently did not get reprinted in Platinum, so good luck tracking that one down, guys. Better hope that
it is
that the sort of e-kits feature it prominently and make their way to a store near you.
They are. I got confirmation that they're in the lead kit.
They're not going to make it to a store near me, Chris, okay?
Hey.
But I'm pretty sure I have a couple Neurophaticus.
Yeah, I don't, so.
But yeah, man, like that thing, what was that? Like combo. And also, yeah, -1 difficulty for each like card in your opponent's card pool. So like Liu Kang is going to love that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, so I guess it leaves me to pick a card, and my card wasn't in the pack. They showed that card today. This card is awesome. It's $500 sunglasses, and because I'm a Johnny, it's okay. I love it. It's great because I'm a huge Johnny Cage fan. He's my favorite fighting game character. I'm gonna play Johnny Cage regardless if he's a 5-hander or not. Don't care.
Yeah, you got to pick the other foundation, the one that
Yeah, the other one's really good too, but I like this one. This one's brand new, came out. It's fine. I like new shiny things. It has a stat. It's a 2/5 with a +3 high. After you block with this card, that attack deals 1 damage. So there was a lot of confusion on the Facebook pages and people asking, well, does it do 1 damage before the damage step? Because it's on block, it deals 1 damage. No, we got to confirm that it's just 1 damage no matter what. So you don't get double activations of Johnny's R, which would have been nuts, but whatever. So yeah, because the attack can only deal damage once.
Yeah, so. It just works the same as like direct hit or what lies ahead. And I mean, the difference with what lies ahead is it says still deals 1 because that was specifically if you completely block an attack, it still deals 1.
Yeah.
And this is like if you completely block or if you partial block.
Yep.
But right, basically it creates like a rules effect that overrides the stuff that in the damage step. So the damage step basically says if it's not blocked, it deals its damage. If it's partially blocked, it deals half rounded up. And if it's fully blocked, it deals none. And so what this does is it creates something that basically says you blocked with this card. So during the damage step, when it determines that, like the game has their rules go first, and then it's like players' effects go off. And so that's the thing, is like the game basically goes, okay, it should deal this much, and then the effect from this goes, wait a minute, it deals 1.
Yep.
So
and then
like
then it has a really sick a response. Commit after your opponent plays an enhance ability, they commit one of their foundations. For those who have been playing longer than just Cowboy Bebop, you will remember a card called Clark's Sunglasses. Clark's Sunglasses. I am parched. I need some water. Was that a 4+ check on Clark?
No, dude.
On sunglasses? No, that was our committed foundation.
It was because it was an asset. It was basically after they play an enhance.
Yeah.
Our commit a foundation. They commit one.
Oh, okay. It was
once.
The committal was
once per enhance step.
The 4+ was Clark himself.
That's right. Okay. So a lot of people may remember that as a poor man's sunglasses, but actually they're not a poor man's sunglasses because they're $500 sunglasses. Asshole.
They're $500.
So
well, I mean, Clark's must have been 1,000.
Yeah, they had to have been. But the little link they had on the page where it was from the movie with Johnny Cage telling Goro it was a $500 sunglasses, asshole. Then I started going down the Johnny Cage rabbit tube on YouTube and started watching like all of his intros and from MKX, and then I watched like a bunch of other things on lunch that I got lost in this Johnny Cage vortex of awesomeness. So yeah, but Johnny Cage has been my all-time favorite fighting game character, so I'm super hyped to play him. But
now he's like the Mortal Kombat dad, so
he is, and so like I kind of have to play the Mortal Kombat dad because I'm UFS dad, so whatever. But yeah, so that was my card. So pretty excited because Flashy Shadow Kick. His other card that they showed that it was in the pack.
They've shown a ton of Johnny Cage. I mean, I guess like part of it is because Shane was like playing his stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Nutcracker was a card too.
So like I know we had mentioned because I know like Melina got Melina had an action, so we thought like maybe like we'd be going back to like people getting like actions and assets and only 3 attacks.
Yeah.
But it was pointed out that like there's that Flashy Shadow Kick is like 56, and then what is it like? What does he have? Nutcracker. So Nutcracker is like 58.
Yeah. And
Speedball's 59. So he will have another attack.
Sure.
So that's cool. So he'll have 4 attacks and I guess 4 foundations.
That's good.
But we've seen 2 of his foundations?
Yeah.
And like
2 of his foundations.
Yeah, 2 of his foundations and 3 of his attacks. So we've seen a ton of Johnny Cage cards.
Yep. Because somehow with the retcon he became I guess Cassie has a Nutcracker too, Shane said. She also has a Nutcracker, so maybe it's I hope it's called Ding Dong, because that's what she says in the video game when she hits someone in the balls. So that would be pretty cool for flavor text, Rob, because that's one thing this game is missing is flavor text, because that just makes cards so much better.
I don't know where they're going to fit them with all the keywords, though.
I don't know. You
got to have room for EX Charge Fury on all your cards.
But yeah, all the charge kick slams, definitely.
My Fury is charge kick slams with EX on. But.
Yeah. So we're running on an hour and a half. Does anybody else want to chime in with any previews? I guess we're gonna go forward, looking forward to the MK pre-release and stuff. So I'm pretty excited. We're gonna have an all-day thing going on with drafts and the 4-pack sealed thing that Kevin Broberg turned me on to, which is going to be fun and exciting. So we're probably going to stream that at least. So we'll have some coverage on that. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't got anything else. Anyone got anything else?
Can I ask one question of the room? And one name answers.
Yeah.
You cannot expound on this answer. One name answer.
Sure.
Strongest draft character for the pre-release for Mortal Kombat.
Raiden.
Reptile.
Ooh.
We took the good ones.
Rob just can't say more than one. He can't say one word.
I think it's probably someone with evil, because I feel like evil has I've seen a lot of really, really good evil support, but I struggle to say it's Kodal, but it might be.
He's expounding though. He can't expound. But it's Rob though. Whatever. Fuck.
I want to say Ermac is Bay, but no, I think it's Kotal Khan. But the once per turn make a thing of throw and get a momentum is pretty damn good. That'd be my vote. But that's all I had. I just wanted to float something out. Here's a little preview for all of my friends in Road Family who are going to be playing in pre-releases next weekend. So
all the people that are going to hate draft Kodal from Slam now. He's like,
I love Kotal. He's my MKX dude. Ermac is just, I like the concept of his character, but Kotal Khan's real life Bay. Ermac is my Instagram Bay. So that's my waifu, is Ermac. Ermac is waifu. But I give the nod to Kotal Khan, but
Kodal's pretty good. Yeah. I think honestly, I think across the board, we all probably think that Cassie may be the weakest character currently.
Well, the thing about Cassie is you haven't seen any of her support. That's the thing is, she from day one was the character where it's basically you have to see what she has.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the only cards that she has right now that are really going to help her out are in Neomax. They're all rotating.
Yep.
Basically, all the Terry 1 stuff.
I can tell you in a vacuum, my view of Cassie is that she's bad Terry. Bad Terry 2. She's another one though, and I talk about this because of Ermac, but Ermac is Bay. Ermac is going to be very dependent on his support too. If Ermac's support is bad, Ermac's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've seen. It looks like some of the stuff they're coming out with is at least solid. I don't know how much I love it, but some of it's solid. Cassie is if her support's bad, she's going to be bad version of Terry 2. And Terry 2 is just solid. He's great.
To go on that, I played her last night. Please. I played her last night at locals, and we didn't have enough for a tournament because we were burnt out from the weekend. But me and Trent got some games in, and
dude, our game last night with Yamato Man and Plant Man was awesome.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Cassie though. So, but her, I can honestly see why they nerfed her top ability from +1/+1 to +1 or +1 for every, because I had with the Champion of Southtown stuff, with her ability, with throw it down.
But none of that stuff is going to exist.
Yeah, I understand that, but I also played Season Guide, and I had some other things, but I was getting 3 to 4 speed on all my attacks. I was getting them. I was pushing stuff, but I could see.
Here's the Takuma conundrum. You were getting 3 and 4 speed by getting multiple cards in card pool.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're Lilith, you point to your board and give it 3 speed.
Exactly, and
that's
the
kind
issue.
of the conundrum. Yeah. And I talked about this with Takuma when we did our video about we were talking about Takuma. Is just one of the things, especially in this world of Bebop, just being all right, Jet, mill 2 cards, here's 2 damage.
Yeah.
It's the how easy can I get the bonus?
Yep.
How hard do I have to work for the thing? And that's like I think that's why Aaron Black is better than Snake Man. Is like Aaron Black just goes, all right, 2 momentum. Clear your pool, 2 momentum. And Snake Man is like, all right, if something deals damage, you lose a card in hand, 2 momentum.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. And that's it's the ease of like what how easy is it to go nuts? And now, Cassie could get a couple of broken-ass cards where you're like, wow, that's crazy. All right, hey, add a card before this in the card pool.
I was going to say, anything that she has to basically, like, add it before. Like, basically has to add it to the beginning.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest thing about, like, the Champion of Southtown or even, like, the existing stuff. What's it called? The Ulrich kick.
Oh.
The Ulrich thing.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Like, chain lightning? Nah, not chain lightning.
Lightning javelin.
Lightning javelin.
Yeah, there we go. Sure. Mm-hmm. That, like, adds something and seals it, but, like, it adds it after it. So, like, I guess it can help, like, later stuff, but it's also, like, +1 progressive. Because even if you want to add, like, a season guide, like, it's going to seal it. So it's not going to have the doesn't count to progressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the other thing, too, is, like, I feel like she's definitely going to want some stuff that, like, doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, Shane said that she does have something that's like season guide, so she is going to have something like that.
Okay.
So that's good.
That's the thing is, I mean, we're losing, man, there's so much good stuff in, Neomax that, like, doesn't get, I mean, it doesn't get played a lot right now because people don't have it, and, like, I understand that, but, like, gonna miss it.
I do want to say a couple. One of my favorite plays was to block.
Yeah, like pour one out, right?
was to block with plant barrier. I blocked with plant barrier, stacked a foundation. On the next attack, I was able to fish for the foundation I wanted. So she does have that neat. It's something, but it's kind of cool, because like I played was it the soccer card. Summer School or whatever. What's that card? You know that card?
Summer
Vacation.
Yes.
So I blocked with plant barrier, stacked it, grabbed it on my next one, and I already had 2 cards not counting towards progressive. So I was just like, this plant barrier doesn't count towards progressive, whatever. Mm-hmm. So she's going to be pretty technical. It's just what the rest of her stuff does, like. Maybe she's able to pull down stuff after, before, she has, like, things that she can just move stuff in and out of her card pool or whatever. But who knows? Yeah. But yeah, the list is long for all the Mortal Kombat guys. So a lot of them.
I mean, honestly, and I'll be real. I mean, the only reason I want her stuff to be good is so I can play Guile again.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, Johnny Cage is the day one guy for me, definitely. I think Liu Kang, Aaron Black, those guys seem the most interesting. Like Takeda, very interesting.
I mean, I wanted to play a lot. I wanted to play Devora, and like her support does not look very good.
Yeah,
rough start for Devora.
Yeah, that one attack's pretty rough. Yeah.
He's Trae Young at some.
Must be the only person that likes that attack.
Scourge. Oh man, like I'll tell you what. If Scourge got +1/+1 for each attack, it'd be good. But the thing, it's 3-speed mid, dude. And, like, I can tell you, playing, like, a whole lot of, like, 3- and 2-speed moves at the end of chains, when my opponent is stunned out, they get blocked.
Yeah.
So, that thing is going to get blocked. And especially in a world where you got, like, Ermac and Quan Chi, like, yeah, I'm running 15 characters. It's like, hey, what is that? 3-speed mid? It's like, I've already blocked 2 things on a 5. Nah.
It's true.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it.
This was a good show, folks.
All right, so I guess we'll come to a close because I think do we have anything else we want to add? Because there's no events until September, right? Till Virginia.
You guys, so if you guys want to go to the Virginia PTC, which I recommend, you will get us fine Marylanders down there.
Yeah.
Book your hotel now. They're already like just stupid expensive. It's Labor Day week. Actually, encourage them to examine like moving it a week maybe. I mean, it's Labor Day weekend in what amounts to a beach community, which wasn't the best planning.
Awesome.
But like
the Indy PTC was the same weekend as the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Like I've heard that hotels are like real expensive. So I would definitely consider either like I know I asked if anybody had any recommendations, and I don't know if they have like any locals that are willing to put people up. But you might even consider like looking for something that's a bit of a hike. You know, like it basically just like, you know, Virginia is a big place, and like honestly, if you can go like to Richmond or something, I think it's about an hour drive or whatever, and like you might be better served just sort of like staying there, or just at like a mom and pop like, you know, just motel.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure accommodations are going to be a little rough.
From what I know, Scott had already booked your guys' room already while he was still here.
I don't know if he did. I have no idea.
No, I know he did. He was sitting in my. We were trying to figure out where to go for lunch. So, yeah.
I'm not trying to pay that much for a hotel room.
Nah, I think.
But this thing is like, I would gladly put people up, but it is like a 4-hour drive from Baltimore to there. So like, we ain't making that trip, you know, multiple times.
Oh yeah, for sure. So. But there's
maybe
that.
we'll all wash out, and then we can just leave.
And then what? UK Nats is a few weeks after that?
It is the week after. So that's the other thing, too. It's like, if you're going to UK Nats, you are not coming to this.
Yikes. That's quick, because like we have no events, and then 2 back-to-back like that. So that's crazy. So we'll see how Mortal Kombat shakes out. So
and then is it like Turbo Worlds is like the week after that, isn't it? Because they moved like
so. Yeah.
Because wasn't it original? I don't know. Was it always in September?
I don't remember.
I thought it was
don't
like
play Turbo,
July.
so I don't know.
And then I guess they bumped it?
I guess so.
No. What's going on with Turbo? Are they still doing events? Like,
yeah. No, events are still going. We just don't do them in Rockford because we all hate it. So we'd rather play standard. It makes more sense. So, oh well. All right.
Another car.
So yeah, I don't need. Yeah, Trent definitely doesn't need another car.
I don't need a tax bill.
Yeah, I don't need a tax bill, but anywho. So get your Mortal Kombat pre-orders in for you local Rockford guys if you haven't. Make sure you guys pick up a lot of Mortal Kombat. Looks like it's going to be a good set so far. Hopefully we'll have the whole thing spoiled by next week. We will have the whole thing spoiled by next week, other than the starter
decks. It sounds like they are going to post something like they did for Mortal Kombat. They did for Cowboy Bebop, like either day before or day after.
I know that we won't. I think they said we won't have the starter decks because they're going to save those for.
I got you. We've seen a ton of Sub-Zero. We've seen a ton of both because like we saw a bunch of the Scorpion stuff just from like the rule book. So.
Yeah. So that's cool. So all right. So Mark, thanks for joining. Congratulations on your win.
Thanks, man.
You know.
Hey,
Hi, Chuck.
Brothers, an honor. 2 out of 3. It's Rob's turn to win next year. So
yeah, here you go. You can do that. Trent, thanks for coming on. I know you live like 5 minutes away, but I appreciate you coming on. So.
Hey, man, it's not about the miles, it's about the smiles.
There's our title.
Right now.
There's the title of the episode. It's not about miles, it's about smiles. There you go.
That's right.
Rob, thanks again. You know, maybe you'll get him next year. You'll get him next year, bud. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think playing against Tim Keefe, I was basically just like, I feel like I've only played like 1 game of UFS since Indy.
All right, everybody. Everyone have a good night. Get your Mortal Kombat stuff in, and have a good week. See you guys later.
Yep.